This lion is stalking some warthogs. I don't think the warthogs see him, it's just a baby lion. The biggest male went and ate first, and then one by one they all started going, and the second male has been growling and jumping at the smaller guys who keep trying to sneak in there, so gotta follow the rain. Welcome to Queen Elizabeth National Park.
We just checked into Pumbaa Safari Cottages and it is amazing. The staff is so friendly. They already gave us a welcome drink and our room is beautiful.
Queen Elizabeth National Park is the biggest safari park and largest park here, I think, in Uganda. So we're gonna spend a few days and nights here exploring and looking for some more animals. Now that we're here in Queen Elizabeth National Park, we want to take one of the boat tours on the Kazinga Channel, which is one of the more popular activities here. And we've decided that we need to spread some information here because we had so much trouble finding out anything about how to set this up, where to go, anything like that.
Yeah, you go online and it says like different times that the boats leave, and we did the boat cruise already in Murchison, and that one was a little more organized with specific times. So anyways, we couldn't really figure it out and went to our lodge just to check in early and see if they could help us, and they ended up helping us, which was great, but it doesn't seem like something you can really do on your own. You can just show up here and ask to take a cruise, and I'm sure they would help you out. No set time, seems like when they have a few people, they just go.
So we're here at the community boat center. It's on the northwest corner of the Kazinga Channel. So if you're coming in from the north, you'd see it on the right just before you get to the bridge. It's pretty easy to spot, I would say. I think you can arrange maybe some fancier boats from your lodge if you're staying at a nice place or something like that, but I think this is gonna work for us. Got a little baby crocodile. Doesn't look very scary. I'd take him home. Here on the Kazinga Channel, we got some hippos, we got some elephants, buffalo. Mostly we have a ton of coral birds, and we also have the Nile crocodile and a monitor lizard, which is awesome to see down by the water. The Kazinga Channel is the quintessential activity here in Queen Elizabeth National Park that's recommended to everyone because the channel goes between the two main lakes here in the park. Awesome, just got off the boat.
It was a great experience. We got to see so many hippos and a lot of really cool new birds that we hadn't seen yet.
You can definitely tell it's sort of like the life of the land here, just being around the water. So glad that we had that experience, and now we're gonna head back to grab some lunch before going on our first game drive.
We just went through the Kazinga Gate at Queen Elizabeth National Park, and the ranger told us that there are some lions up in trees over here. So we're gonna go check it out. First thing would be really cool to see a lion. Update, we did not find any lions in trees, so now we're just driving around. It just started raining, which is not the best for a safari, but also good because it's raining and hopefully keeping the dust down. And then it'll probably let up here soon and it'll be cool, so all the animals will come out.
Well, still no luck out here so far, but we made it all the way east to Lake George, which is kind of one end of this section of the park. There are some cool birds out here, as well as a little hippo colony. Well, it's not always glitz and glamour out here, driving around for a while, and all we've seen are some Pumbas, deer, and buffalo, which are warthogs, cobs, and buffalo.
Our luck has finally changed and we found some lions. They have a carcass and there's a little baby.
Yeah, so we have 3 lions here, 2 babies, and one looks like a mom cub. The 2 babies are just like wrestling nonstop, which is so fun to see. And then another interesting thing is the mom has a collar, and we know a lot of them have collars because really it's just for their protection and for humans. So if they get too close to a village, they can go ahead and force them to come back into the park, which is really helpful. So this is a great way to end the night. All right, well, we basically closed out the park, keeping an eye on those lions. They didn't get too close, not our best sighting. But again, it was really cool to see the cubs playing, and then it was really cool to see that they had a kill there too, and it was a huge water buck that they had killed. So we're actually gonna try and come back first thing in the morning, see if they're still in this same area, because they're not gonna chow down on that thing overnight. So we'll see you in the morning. Here this morning, and we are not the only ones kicking off our safari bright and early. Hopefully that's a good sign of the animal action out here. We came back out to the same place, and the lions are now right in the middle of the road. 2 cubs, the dad and the mom. Good thing we got here early.
The lions keep doing little baby growls. Nice, pleasant, like not angry. More affection. They moved a little bit. They were kind of rubbing up against each other like cats would. Now they're laying back down again. All right, kind of annoying because the lions were just relaxing and sleeping in the road, and then like 10 vehicles just pulled up and they're all jockeying for position, and one guide literally pulled up right next to them and scared them, so they all kind of ran off. Now they're all on the side looking like they're not sure if they want to stay. A little irritating because now they're walking away from all the cars. We've been told very explicitly to not go off track here, and all of these cars are just flying into the field with their guides and scaring the lions away. Really frustrating. I mean, they're getting like 10 feet from them and making them walk. It's nuts. All right, we're bailing on this area because there are like 40 cars here and they just keep driving in the grass chasing the lions, and it feels wrong and sad, so we're gonna leave and go see if we can find some others. Apparently there's a lot of lions and leopards here, so we'll see what we can do.
I mean, we get that if you see lions, like we should expect to see a lot of cars, but just like the complete disregard for any like space or understanding. Looking at it, it's like a whole group of self-drive people who seem to not have any idea what they're doing, and there's a few respectful folks, but just a few.
There are a bunch of hippos in this little mud pit just off the main road, and they are snug in there.
The hippos mainly during the day just kind of stay in the water, stay in the mud, but at night they're known to graze like super, super far. And so I wonder if that's how these guys ended up here in the mud. After driving in the rain for a while, came up on another sighting of a leopard out here in the grass. It's kind of surprising to see it out in the open, just in the late morning right now.
They are usually not seen out in the day because they're nocturnal, and when you do find them, usually they are kind of in wooded areas under cover, so we are really lucky to see this leopard right now.
I mean, that was a bit far out, but that's kind of what you can expect, and awesome to see a leopard either way. And you can see this is a much more appropriate way to sight a big cat and provide it some distance here. Driving through the rain and the mud is its own adventure out here. Definitely thankful that we have our 4x4.
Our 24-hour permit is ending soon, so we made one last stop by the lions we saw this morning, and they are out again. Much fewer cars, and there's another male here too. So there's 2 males, 2 cubs, and a female. And they're just laying along the side of the road, taking naps.
It just never gets old seeing these lions like this, especially this close and with just one other car here.
Lions are the largest and most powerful big cat in East Africa. And unlike the other big cats, they are very social, which is why you always find them in prides.
When you've been on safari and you've kind of seen everything, this is what I think it sort of turns into, is like you see something good and you just wait with it. So we got the lions here. It's raining out, so the top down, but it's still nice to just keep an eye on the lions. Whenever they move, we'll be ready.
We have been sitting with the lions for a while now, and one of the big males finally got up and started walking away, and then he went back to their kill that they had from yesterday, and he's been kind of tugging on it. You can see it's mostly just bones now, but there's still a little bit for him to get, so I just had a little snack in between his naps.
The lions are basically just taking their turn. The biggest male went and ate first, and then one by one they all started going, and the second male has been growling and jumping at the smaller guys who keep trying to sneak in there. So gotta follow the rain. They're over here just tearing at the carcass, and it's starting to smell for us over here like dead animal. You can tell. Must be stirring it up a little bit. Although I don't believe there is a limit to our lion watching, there are a few other things here in Queen Elizabeth that we wanted to check out. So time to move on to the next one. This is the Crater Drive in Queen Elizabeth National Park, and there are 72 volcanic craters here. We are going to attempt to count them all. Just kidding, we're not gonna do that, but there is one behind me. Although we've had fantastic luck finding wildlife here, I wouldn't say that Queen Elizabeth is one of the premier wildlife parks in Africa. You know, you have things like the Serengeti, Masai Mara, but it does have some really stunning landscape that goes along with these chances to see lions and leopards and elephants, so we're excited to check some of that out. Rebecca has PTSD from some of our past elephant encounters, so there's one up here and she's already contemplating driving down into the crater to go around, I think. Rumor has it they call it the African elephant because their ears, when you look at them, are in the shape of the continent Africa. May be here for a while because instead of standing on the side of the road, it walked into the road and is now just walking straight down. Mr. Elephant decided to be nice, moved off the road for Rebecca. She said her heart's racing right now. I believe it. The drive up here to the first crater was pretty much straight up, but it goes right into the clouds and you can see pretty much everything. That's so hard every time. This is so crazy. It looks like dinosaur land down there. And this road is incredible. You're just driving along the tops of the edges of the crater and looking down into all of them. So cool. Finally found our first crater lake up here, and it's beautiful. We're here during the dry season, so it's possible you get more lakes when it's the wet season or otherwise, but even this is, I mean, incredible views. It's hard to believe something like this is in Uganda and you just hardly ever hear about it. After coming out of the crater, we came down to Mwea Peninsula, and this is another area that seems more touristy for the Kazinga Channel cruise. Supposedly this one's better because you can see the actual opening to the lake, but we kind of liked our community cruise that we did, and we feel like we were giving back a little bit more, and we learned so much on it, so no regrets for us, but it's cool to come out here and see where the channel meets the lake. Now that we're a little bit more familiar with the park, just want to share a few things that we've learned for those who might also be looking at a self-drive because it was so hard for us to find information. So the park is really in what I'd say are like three parts. You have the north side, which is what we're on now, the central part, which I think is kind of the emptier section, and then the south end, which is Ishasha. So the south end, Ishasha, is really known for the tree climbing lions. Aside from the tree climbing lions, I don't know that the game viewing is quite as strong as it is here on the north end. On the north end, you basically have the Kazinga Channel, and then aside from the Kazinga Channel, above that to the north side, you have the east side, which is Kenyesi, and you have the west side, which is where the craters are. You can also buy a map, which is what we did our first day at the gate, and we really recommend it because Google Maps is not at all reflective of all the game drive space out here, so it's really helpful to get your bearings and to navigate to some of those special spots.
Now that we've reached the west side of the park, we're going to make our way back along the Kazinga Channel track. This track is definitely a little overgrown, and I can assume it's only because of these huge potholes in the track. So we might be some of the few that come down here. Hopefully that means there's a better shot to see an animal, but so far we've seen some birds and some pumbas. We'll see what else.
Well, the east end, Kazinga, is known more for the game, and I can see why. We've been driving around for a decent amount of time. We haven't really seen too much, just some of the same deer, water buck, and we're getting destroyed by flies. Not a whole lot more action on the way out of the park, so we're gonna go ahead and call it a day now. We're headed back to the lodge. We sort of skipped lunch doing a full game drive out in the park, so we're pretty hungry. Decided to get back to the lodge, and then tomorrow morning we have our last full day on the north end of the park before heading down to the Ishasha sector. Looking forward to what I'm sure will be a hard night's sleep tonight.
Okay, my first successful shower where I got hot water in a container like this. Our lodge runs off of solar, and today it was very cloudy and rainy the whole day, so the water, they said, was probably going to be pretty cold, and they offered to heat up some water, and I have always wanted to try that. It was very hot, like boiling. You can see this is a thermos. So I diluted it in one of our plastic water bottles, melted the plastic water bottle a little bit, but our shower has a nice little ledge, so I would just kind of like tip it over me while I put soap on, and I feel clean. I made it work. It was a little scary there for a minute. It took me a lot longer to shower than it normally would, but very grateful that they offered to do that for me. Today, since we have been on a few safari drives now, we are going to just call out the animals as we see them instead of going into details on each one.
At this point, I don't know that you need a step-by-step into what the safari is like. If we see something extraordinary, we'll point it out. Other than that, you're gonna get the rapid fire of all the animals we see today. Cape buffalo.
Elephant.
Ugandan cob. Cob.
Lion.
Vulture. Caw.
African wattled plover. Meep, meep.
Pumbaa. When I was a young warthog.
Hippo. Water bug.
Guinea fowl.
Nile crocodile.
Kingfisher. Tweet tweet. Hyena. Ha ha ha. Alright, we interrupt this program to share the 2 lion cubs we've been watching.
We hadn't really been finding much this morning, but when all else fails, you can just follow all the other cars and eventually you'll find a bunch huddled up, and usually it's a big cat. We just found 2 cubs and a mama.
This guide is just standing outside of his car, and I don't think he's realized that the lions have noticed him.
Hey, yeah, tell your guy.
Tell your guy to get in his car.
What's up?
Hey. You get in?
He's gone.
Okay, he's correct.
This just feels like a scene out of National Geographic or something, and we love just sitting here and watching the lions, and this is why they get really active and they're kind of rolling around and playing with each other, and just really cool to see the cats here hanging out. they're so friendly, and it's interesting to see too. They act really in sync with each other, and those instincts kind of seem to kick in at the same time, and these two young ones are clearly learning.
Just walked right in front of the road. They just sat up on this rock. It's totally awesome. Lion is stalking some warthogs. I don't think the warthogs see him, it's just a baby lion. Oh, that warthogs haven't seen him yet, he's inched closer. We're not sure. Oh, he's on the move again. We're not sure if it's actually going to attack, but watching it stalk is really cool. Oh my god, it's getting so close. They still don't see him. This is wild. The little ones aren't. Alright, I think we were a little too optimistic there, but it was really going after it. Finally, the warthogs slowly made their way further away, and I think the lion sat up and got a little less interested, so must not be hungry, or maybe it's just the cub practicing, but that was awesome. That was really cool. The warthog turned around and like looked it dead in the eye, like, I see you. And then they trotted off.
Queen Elizabeth National Park has truly been just so incredible so far, from all of the wildlife and the landscapes and obviously the lions. We are looking forward to moving down to the southern part where we will hopefully see some tree climbing lions in Ishasha.